Alright, all you moviegoers out there, welcome back to the Indy Radio Arcade. And yeah, we were originally going to do the show at the Pinball Wizard's big oversized castle, which I do believe Eureka Castle was filmed there. But yeah, we ran into a couple of difficulties with the acoustics, with everything sounding all echoey, so we couldn't do it. Because it would sound like we were in some form of dream sequence. Maybe next time. But besides that, folks, and the cool wizard hat I was able to find that the Pinball Wizard was able to give me prior to this show to do this said show, it's time for us to go into another film reel edition of the 3MR. And the movie we have up on the plate to continue the police summer shootout series is none other than Bad Boys. And the meat and potatoes of this said movie is that two detectives that goes by the name of Marcus and Mike are set to protect none other than Julie, who was a witness to a murder that would take place and would also at the same time try to figure out who was the one who stole the heroin from the police evidence storage locker in the police precinct in Miami. And with the meat and potatoes out of the way, folks, what did I love about this film? Well, first off, the on-screen chemistry with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith is absolutely ridiculous and awesome at the same time, with how cool they are with each other, with the comedy that they can provide, and the silliness and seriousness that is involved in this said film. And oh, before I forget, folks, and for those who are wondering why in the world during this movie it had so many explosions, this was the directorial debut of one Michael Bay. Yes, that's right, folks. This movie would be the first film that Michael Bay would direct, and yes, it would be filled with plenty of explosions, which I loved during this film. And before we could forget, folks, the star-studded cast that was in this said film. Because, let's face it, folks, Will Smith, prior to this movie, was involved in several different things, including The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but would go on after this film to be involved in Independence Day, then shoot straight that next following year in '97 to be involved in Men in Black, and eventually go on to Enemy of the State and other classic movies he was in. But on the other side of the fence for Martin Lawrence, he was very busy as well, because prior to Bad Boys, he was a part of Do the Right Thing, House Party 1 and 2, Def Comedy Jam, his show Martin, Boomerang, and of course Nothing Left to Lose in '97, along with Love and Hate that came out in '96, and was even a part of the movie Nothing Left to Lose in '97, and eventually would wrap up the millennium with Blue Streak that he was featured in as well. And no, folks, we're not going to forget the fact that he was also a part of the movie Life, which was absolutely hilarious, and we still need to review in the near future, and a part of the movie Big Mama's House 1 and 2. And with those two guys in this film, you also had others featured in this said film that we couldn't possibly forget, along the lines of Tia Leone, who was a part of such films such as Flying Blind, Tower Heist, Spanglish, Fun with Dick and Jane, A League of Their Own, which was another great sports film, The Family Man, Deep Impact, and even a part of the series known as Madam Secretary. Then you had Kate Corio, who was a part of such hit films of Kiss the Dragon, The Core, Taking Lives, and even a part of the movie GoldenEye as Mitchkin. And I've been wondering for years, why does that actor was so familiar to me, and now I got my answer. Yep, he was a part of GoldenEye. And to go even further down the rabbit hole of actors featured during this movie, you had Teresa Randall, who was a part of such great films as Malcolm X, Sugar Hill, The Five Heartbeats, Space Jam, and even a part of the movie known as Spawn. as Wanda. And no, Maestro, I'm not going to go ahead and scream Wanda on the microphone like he did in the movie Spawn, because we still got other people to mention during this film, such as the guy who played the captain in this film, who was Joe Pantoliano, who actually played not only in The Matrix, The Sopranos, Risky Business, Midnight Run, and was also featured during the movie The Fugitive, and even during the hit film of U.S. Marshals and The Goonies. And according to the Maestro, to wrap this up so we're not here all night mentioning all the actors featured in this said film, you also had Michael Taliaferro, who was a part of not only the movie Life, Blue Hill Avenue, You Got Served, and The Replacements. Along with him, you had John Sally, who was a part of LA Finest, The Best Damn Sports Show, period, and also as a former member of the NBA as well, a part of the Detroit Pistons, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors, the Bulls, and even a part of the Lakers as well. And finally, last but not least, folks, you also had Marty McSorley, who was also a part of the National Hockey League, a part of such great teams such as the LA Kings, and even a part of the Oilers, which for some strange reason I don't think is a team anymore, but at the same time, outside of his hockey career, he was a part of the movie Con Air, which was one of my favorite movies of all time, the reason why we mention him. And with all those actors mentioned during this star-studded film, folks, that we possibly could, one of my favorite scenes in this film would have to be the convenience store scene where Mike Lowry and Marcus was getting in a back-and-forth argument while the convenience store owner was pointing a gun at him, only for it to end with them pulling a gun out on the convenience store owner and telling him, now all we want is for a pack of Bubblicious and some Skittles. Granted, they were both arguing while this guy was holding on to a Desert Eagle while he was telling them both to freeze. Reason why it was funny to me, I don't know why, but the fact that they were so calm under that situation while the witness who decided to go outside the store saying, he's holding a cannon, and just left and said, you know what, I'm out of here, I'll just wait in the car, was funny. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review movies along the lines of Siskel and Ebert or any of those other movie reviewers that you know of out there, we say this. If you guys want to go ahead and watch a film that features two different actors from two different sides of the spectrum coming together in one great action cop film featuring comedy, explosions, and a star-studded cast that all comes together like one giant peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you would most likely eat in the afternoon and ask for seconds, then I recommend you go out there and watch that flick. And trust me, folks, you'll love the on-screen chemistry between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith during this film. And with that said, folks, we might as well head back into this music, and when we return, we'll be back with more of the Indie Radio Arcade right after a word from our sponsors. So stay tuned.